Yes.
Okay. This is item number 4, which is the one that I asked previously if we can have agended or amended, and being that it's up in front of us now, I understand this is the proper time to ask.
Yes.
I just want to make sure, I did recognize you, sorry, Mr. President. I just want to that the public got a chance to hear what it was first before to ask the question.
What I'm asking is because we have the resolution but the resolution does state must be placed in front of the city council's agenda within 21 days from the date the applicant was provided by the recommendation by the planning commission. What I am asking, because we know for a fact that we have had applications submitted to the planning commission, and they have been held up by the administration, although they have been approved for up to almost a year. So what I'm going to ask is, if an applicant submits the application, has the fee included, has been approved by the planning commission, or the planning department, that the planner puts it on the agenda for the planning commission within 61 days. And then we have the 21 days after the planning commission approves it, that it comes to the council. So there's one extra step, and that would be the first step.
Okay, can I speak to that?
Yes.
Really quickly. First, it raises some questions that we need clarity on as far as what jurisdiction we have over the planning commission. The second thing is, even in that, Councilwoman Petola, what stops the planning commission for doing exactly what they did to Hidden River Park? They put it on the agenda, then they didn't vote on the actual issue. So what I'm saying to you is, I wouldn't want somebody to be in the situation thinking that they had a 60-day hearing, come to the meeting, spend tons of dollars. A lot of times they bring a lawyer with them or other people that they have to pay out of pocket, get to the agenda, and because somebody decides that they don't want to deal with the issue, that it sits in that place, because then they don't have any redress to the council if they don't take any action. So I get where you're trying to get to with this, but there needs to be either an ordinance change, or we need to find out from state law what can be done with planning commissions in order for them to act, because I don't think any planning commission in any other city works in this form or fashion where they just deny to hear things that have been sent to them by the city council.
Council President?
We're
Yes.
a one-stop ready city, and that means that we're supposed to be ready to move. So if somebody submits their application along with their $1,500 to come in front of the planning department, they should not be held up to come in front of the planning department after they have submitted $1,500 and held up for a year.
I'm in agreement, but what stops them from hearing them at the meeting and not taking a vote? What I'm saying to you is, does this body have the jurisdiction to compel the planning commissioners to vote? One of the reasons that these planning particular people have not been approved in the past is because they have not complied with a general standard of handling the business of the city and dealing with the city council. Right now, we have generally no communication between the planning commission and the city council. All I'm saying to you is, I agree with the fact that they've been stringing people along. What I'm saying to you is, what is the mechanism by ordinance in order to do it? I know that we have jurisdiction over after a ruling is made by the planning commission when we need to get it, and that's what this resolution tries to get to. What I'm not sure of, and Attorney Chubb can speak to this, is how do you put a mechanism in place to make actual body act the way they should be acting?
Good evening,
You know what? That is because what they've done on the 8th, they tabled the Hidden River Park to come back in front of the building or the Community Development Subcommittee when they've already made a decision. So here we are, but still back out. Another month they meet, and they will bypass.
So that's
the
what I'm
deadline.
saying, what you're trying to add, it doesn't
Yeah.
still get to the root of what it is. So Attorney Chubb?
Good evening, Council President. Regardless of whether, or I don't agree with your characterization, but under Charter Section 3.116, Relations with Executive Branch, I think that your initial reaction is correct, that the Charter does not allow the legislative branch, that being the city council, to direct appointees of the mayor, which the planning commission are appointees of the mayor. And additionally, to put a specific timeline on their actions, like Councilwoman Pedala suggested, it's inappropriate where their actions are discretionary versus ministerial. And under ordinance 6.802, the amendment review procedure, the first part is the technical review, and depending upon the complexity of it, as we just saw when we went through the marijuana buffer zones and the adoption of the marijuana-related zoning amendment, we can't have a set time frame because depending on the complexity, the planning manager's determinations, it may take much longer than that. And additionally, we need 14 days to schedule the meeting, and so under Michigan law, we need 14 days to publish it prior to the meeting, and so by the time we find a date where the council can, where the planning commission can meet and then post it, that would really put a time crunch on everything.
Anybody have questions?
May
I
I
have a
respond?
Councilwoman Pedala, then Pro Tem Carter.
Then, Mr. Attorney, because we have gone through this too many times and because we have all taken classes that say we are a one-stop ready community, and not being a one-stop ready community makes us a liar, which we already have a problem with, people trusting us. We can do this without the window of 61 days. We can do it when it is amenable for the planner to put it in front of us. But this mayor takes too long, and I can tell you, we have too many problems. We also have problems with attorneys of your office not referring back to an individual who they are waiting for the right-of-way and the access rights. So I have a little bit of an issue with that as well. I'm going to keep my mouth shut about that because it's a legal matter, being that the attorneys have it, but that attorney needs to contact these people, and he needs to tell them the date, because they submitted a check back in June of 2017, and they're still waiting on a darn answer. June of 2018, and they're still waiting on the answer for the right-of-way. So, can't we do this without having an exact time frame, but a reasonable time frame determined upon the planner? Because this mayor, she'll put everything off because it doesn't suit her. And that's exactly what she did with Hidden River Park. Put it back to the planning, or to the subcommittee, although the planners were ready to move it, but now it has to go back to the subcommittee whenever they meet again. And this is just absolutely ridiculous.
So,
May I?
go ahead, Pro Tem.
Mr. President, and to my colleagues and to the people, the problem I see is that some of the people have been waiting over a year and a half.
There
See
you go.
planning. At the same time, I can only speak for the people who contact me, that people make phone calls to individuals within the planning or even code enforcement. People make appointments to see people in planning and code enforcement. There is no documentation from anyone that you saw somebody to return. Individuals are asked and have bring documentations to the planning and also to the code enforcement for them to preview, look, and discuss. But there is no receipt of anyone ever having a conversation with either of these departments. Thank you very much.
Anybody else got a question for Attorney Tripp?
No, I think I said it all. Oh, here comes Jane.
Okay, I still didn't hear anything in regards to the item number 4, actually.
I thought he did.
No, he talked about the 60 days that Councilwoman Pedala was talking about. I didn't think he talked about the 21 days
Right.
that we're talking about.
Sure, so with regard to the resolution as it was put into the agenda, it's my understanding that the city council wants to impose upon itself a 21-day window from when the planning commission makes a recommendation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see any issues with that.
Okay, awesome.
Why would you ask that? That was never an issue.
No, not on yourself. The planning commission needs to present.
That was never an
The
issue.
planning commission is taking action. Staff needs to
Exactly.
forward the recommendation.
So, So, Attorney Sharp,
Yes. Yes.
the planning commission needs to forward that information to the council, correct?
I don't understand. Attorney Chubb just indicated that's not an issue, so I'm not sure why you're questioning that because of the
Okay.
fact they've made their final recommendation, so there should be no reason whatsoever. See, there's two steps into this resolution, right? So the first one is to say that once that final recommendation, because we know at times applicants go in front of the planning commission maybe several times. So therefore, this is when they give the recommendation. So therefore, after that recommendation, there should be no reason why within 21 days you shouldn't be able to have that matter placed on your agenda. Secondly, this resolution addresses the outstanding recommendations that have not been forwarded, not the ones to Petula's question that have not been addressed, but the ones that still have not come here, but there is a final recommendation. They too, within 21 days, should be placed on your agenda. There should not be a problem with that whatsoever.
I like that. So, what's the pleasure of the body? Vote on this next week?
Can we suspend the rules to move on it now?
Oh, okay. Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
Make a comment, please.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to suspend the rules. There's no comment during suspending the rules, but I will recognize you, Deputy Mayor, after the
Thank you.
roll call has been taken.
Thank you.
Please don't muddy the agenda. All right, thank you. Okay, roll call?
Petula,
Yes.
Taylor Burks,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
G. Williams,
Yes.
K. Williams,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Miller.
All right, now, we need,
So moved.
hold on, a motion on the resolution to require that all planning commission recommendations that require final action and/or Pontiac City Council approval must be placed on the Pontiac City Council's agenda within 21 days from the date the applicant was provided a recommendation by the planning commission.
So moved.
Council President.
What was it?
What did you say?
Okay.
Be it further resolved.
Be it further resolved that all outstanding planning commission recommendations which require final action and/or city council approval must also be placed on the Pontiac City Council's agenda within 21 days from the date of passage of the resolution.
So
So
moved.
move.
I need a support. Both of y'all
Support.
moved it. Okay. I'll take the move from George Williams, the support from Mary Petula. Any city council discussion first, and then I'll recognize the
one-
deputy mayor.
one-
Pro Tem Carter. Yep.
The only thing that's lacking is that if planning decides to place it into the local paper, need to be notified which paper it's being placed in. So it could be in the Oakland County Legal News for Attorney in the courthouse. It's not a paper that's reviewed by the public. So it's a local paper to identify the local paper that it'll be placed in. Thank you.
That doesn't really go
That
with
doesn't go in here.
this resolution, unfortunately. That can be a separate, maybe that's a separate resolution, but that can't be
So we
with
need
this
to come
resolution.
up
That's a
with
separate
That's a separate
recommendation.
resolution.
Okay, I can take it separately.
So can we put that on the agenda for next week?
Thank you.
Okay, that would be good. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, council members. You know, I sat back and I listened to your remarks regarding the code enforcement and the business licenses and items that go before the city council. Please be assured that our staff works very hard to get those items through. We do not delay. Many times, if there is an item that needs to be addressed by the staff, sometimes because we still need to work with the developer, and there's some issues that need to be worked upon. So please be assured that we bring this to you as quickly as we can. And I cannot tell you how hard our staff works in order to get this done. I'm going to go back and I'm going to research to see if there's any items that still need to be addressed as it relates to vacancies or whatever. But be assured that our staff works very hard to get these things done. And as far as being one-stop ready, we work very hard to get that. That was something that the mayor's office did in order to be able to get this. We do meet with the developers on a timely basis so that we can inform them of all the items that they need in order to be prepared to get everything ready to come before the planning commission or the city council. So again, I just wanted to assure the city council that our staff works very hard to get these things done, and I thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And I agree that your staff works hard, and I believe that in 21 days, that's a good enough window to get these things from the Planning Commission to the City Council. So, roll call. The vote's been called for.
Do we have to suspend?
We already suspended. Roll call.
Okay.
Taylor Burks? On 4 on the resolution, the 21
Yes.
days. Waterman?
Yes.
G. Williams?
Yes.
K. Williams?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes?
Miller?
Yes.
Petula?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Point of privilege, Mr. President, briefly. In case someone has a problem with some of the things with planning, things like Amazon have code name known as Project Cougar. So if you go to FOIA looking for Amazon, you will not find it, but you will find Project Cougar as listed as a code name for Amazon. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, which brings us to item number 5, resolution to appoint